Hello, welcome to the Point of View stories for Healthy Heart. Same stories, different points of view, different time frames. Let's start. Since he was a teenager, Zach has loved bright, expensive clothes. In fact, since he was a teenager, he has always worn conspicuous clothes when he was on the street. He has always been very conspicuous every time he walked on the street. Since he was a teenager and continuing until he was an adult, until very recently. And since he was a teenager, Zach has been totally self-absorbed. Zach has been completely self-absorbed. He has only thought about himself and his clothes. So, since he was a teenager, he has loved bright, expensive clothes. Since he was a teenager, he has always been conspicuous, noticeable. And since he was a teenager, he has always been self-absorbed. He has only thought about himself and his clothing. But one day, he bought a coat made from gold fibers. And he bought the coat at Saks Fifth Avenue. This coat was worth $72 million. A super expensive coat. Zach loved the coat. He looked in the mirror and he talked to himself and he said, "I'm so handsome. I'm so wonderful. I'm great." However, a few weeks later, he woke up one day and looked in the mirror, and he felt sad. He realized that he had lost touch with his happiness. He had lost touch with his happiness. He had lost touch with other people. And so he felt very sad. He realized that he was totally alone. He went outside for a walk. And while walking, he saw a poor homeless man. A poor, suffering, hungry homeless man. Oh, so sad. And Zach was moved by his suffering. He felt emotional because of the man's suffering. And so Zach said, "Here, take my gold coat and buy a big house." And the man took his gold coat. He was so happy he ran to the bank. He sold the gold coat. He bought a big, big mansion. And he ate a lot of food. And Zach also felt very happy because he helped this man. He connected again with a person. So Zach was very happy, and the homeless man was also very happy. Okay, that is the end of our first point of view story. As always, in these first stories, you'll hear a change usually. And the change is between something that has been happening a while. It started in the past and it's continued happening for some time. And then we change because something just happened suddenly. We talk about one event. He bought a coat made from gold fibers. That happened one time. He didn't buy a coat every day, starting 10 years ago and continuing. No, it happened one time, and then it was over. So we're talking about specific events after the change. Before the change, we're talking about some things that were happening and continued happening. He was conspicuous. He was always conspicuous, for example. So he has been conspicuous since he was 16. It means it started when he was 16, and he continued to be conspicuous every day after that for several years. So it's a time frame. It's a longer time period. It keeps happening over time. If we say he was conspicuous yesterday, well, then it just happened. Boom. One time. All right, our next story. Into the future, I have an idea for a story. It happens in the future. I'm going to tell you now. Here we go. There will be a guy named Zach. He's going to love bright, expensive clothes. He'll always be conspicuous when he walks on the street. This guy, Zach, he'll be very self-absorbed. He's going to be totally self-absorbed, in fact. He's only going to think about himself and his clothes. And one day, he'll go to Saks Fifth Avenue, and he'll buy a coat made from gold fibers. A coat made from gold fibers that will be worth $72 million. And he's going to look in the mirror and he's going to say, Zach, you're handsome. You're great. You're wonderful. Because, of course, he will be totally self-absorbed. But one day, Zach will wake up feeling very sad. He'll look in the mirror and he'll feel very sad. And he'll realize that he has lost touch with his happiness. He'll realize that he has lost touch with every other person. He'll be totally alone. So he's going to walk outside wearing his gold coat. And he'll see a poor, homeless, suffering, hungry man. He'll be moved by the suffering of this man. He'll be moved by the homeless man. He'll feel very emotional. And he'll take off his gold coat and he'll say, "Here, take my gold coat and buy a big house with it." Of course, the homeless man's gonna be super excited, super happy. The homeless man will run to the bank and sell the gold coat, and he'll buy a big mansion with all the money. And he'll eat a lot of food, and he'll feel great. And Zach is gonna feel great too. He'll feel great because he helped somebody. He'll feel great because he connected with another person and he contributed. So both the homeless man and Zach will feel very, very happy. And that is the end of our point of view stories for Healthy Heart. Listen to them many times for at least 7 days. 14 days or more is fine. Less is not good. At least 7 days. Every day, listen to this story, listen to the mini story, listen to the main audio, and sometimes listen to the vocabulary too. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.